Welcome to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha, our producer's here. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
Is that a Semantics hoodie?
Nope, I just have a Tom and Dan hoodie over top of a Semantics t-shirt.
I couldn't see the side of it. I was like, I want one of those. I want a Semantics hoodie.
A couple things. This weekend, we've got me and Sam are going to be at the Orlando Guardians game.
I wasn't invited.
And Daniel's a dance dad, so he's going to be tied up with dance. It's amazing how committed. I'm super impressed how committed Maisie is with her dance career.
Today's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. She'll be practicing from 3 until 8:30 every night.
That is
3 to 8:30. 3 to 8:30.
That's a lot. 5 hours
she leaves
a day.
School early. She leaves her education early to go do her athletics. So that's the way it's supposed to be. The way it's supposed to be.
To be that committed at her age is impressive to me. I don't know. Most adults I know are not as committed as that. Well, and never committed to anything.
I don't.
And their marriage, nothing.
But I do nothing to. I don't do anything to foster it. I don't do anything to make it better, worse. It's literally out
born
of my,
that way.
Yeah, born that way. Lady Gaga said it. Forget it. I do nothing. I do nothing about it. In fact, I would like to stop her from dancing as much.
Yeah. You want to spend more time with her.
See her. Yeah, I like to go home. It's expensive. Yeah, our guest is like doing the gesture of like it costs a lot of money. Yes, it does. That's not. I don't care. Whatever makes her happy is great. But I do wish that she would sit and read comic books with me instead of dancing for 5 hours every afternoon. But hey, I don't get to choose.
Listen, it makes me relieved because I see Maisie and I'm like, well, super committed, ambitious people were born that way. And all the successful people that I see that I'm like, I want to be more like them.
Yeah,
well, guess what? I wasn't born that way. And then I'm like, well, I'm not even going to, because I could try, but I'll be miserable. Maisie likes it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I try to do that schedule, every day I'd be pitching about it or whatever. And then I'm like,
you do work hard now.
Yeah, but not as that hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm on a spectrum of hard work. Like, there's
you work really hard.
There's a lot of people that work way harder.
You whip us to work harder. Can't get a goddamn weekend off. Now I'm at the Fardians game.
It is weird. Yeah, you're working the Fardians.
Not as hard as Maisie though. So I can only. This is about as hard as I can go.
She does things. I don't want it to seem like I'm bragging at all, but I'll brag for a minute. Like, she hides things from me. Like yesterday, I was walking her home from school, or on Monday, I was walking her home from school. And I was walking her back, and she's like, hey, I got something to tell you. I'm like, oh, okay, well, what happened? She's like, don't tell Mama, but I got another student of the month. And
why doesn't she want anybody to know?
She's gotten to a point where she tucks that stuff in her bag. I don't know if she's getting teased about it.
Oh, goody two-shoes.
She's a little nerdy like her mama, right? And I think she is getting teased a little bit about being like a
Teacher's
goody-goody.
pet.
Yeah, I think she's getting a little bit of
That'll
that.
happen.
So she, like, I find, like, all of her good accomplishments I find balled up in the bottom of her, like, knapsack.
Well, that's
But
sad.
it is kind of sad.
She don't want to be bothered by that. She knows that in the grand scheme of things.
I already know I'm the best.
I don't need the award.
That's what the best know.
You wanted the best, you got the best.
That's what Jordan knew.
If you had
I'm
her,
just saying.
you would destroy her, man. You can't say those things to her.
No. She already knows it. I'm going to tell her nothing. She already knows. Anyway, please give me a job one day, Maisie. I can't work that as hard as you can.
She would never hire you.
Yeah, she ain't gonna hire us, man. She's just getting it. She's trying to work as hard as she can to get out of our house. We got a guest. Let's get to our guest.
Let's do a weird job.
All right. Weird job on deck now. Tom wanted to do a bit. He called it Weird Job Wednesday. Dan really likes it. Tom says that's bullshit. It's another Weird Job Wednesday. I gotta change this song, don't I? Maybe do a new one? What are you doing?
We can,
What is your job? Are you
For
neat?
good.
Are
Still
you
tapping your
tidy?
feet to it.
Are you a fat slob? Do It's you catchy. make lots of money and you sit up in your tower looking down on all the people who are working by the hour? It's a Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Oh yes, it's Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Thank you.
People did like it when you switched it up every week, though. Got too hard to track them down.
It didn't really get hard, but then I didn't like some of the ones I was doing. I was like, I'm just crapping this out. This is garbage.
Just sing a fresh one every time.
It's hard.
Sam,
it's hard to do that.
This is how it works too. Where say you'll get like Pariah Mike, right? He'll start getting into giving us songs, right?
And he gave up on you guys.
Well, that's what happened.
Exactly.
because it's a tremendous amount of work. So he's working his ass off and then at first it's you hear him on the show and you're like get excited. You're like, oh, that gives you value.
They love me. But then we play him and we don't say anything, and he's like,
well,
it's not genuflect. They didn't go crazy.
No, it's even if no matter how many times we thank him, after a certain amount of time, you're like, well, nothing's really happened yet. I thought that something would happen.
Not a superstar.
I thought the money is not flowing in. And hearing my songs
didn't even move the needle. In fact,
on the show,
I just worked really hard and gave something to these guys for free. Jackal's in there too. I mean, Jackal put together a masterpiece. I'll hand him $40.
yeah. Well, but he's still excited to hear it.
I
But
mean, I
accolade
guess.
means something
Until he's not.
And then it always.
We used to have
ends
a
in
ton
not.
of listeners that would give us songs and like contribute to the show. Ryan Holmes. He used to write songs first and send them in. Everybody's just like, I'm not doing it anymore.
Yeah. Because there's just too much work after a while. Then nothing's really changed, and you're like, well, what's the point of this?
Yeah.
Anyway.
So I'm not going to do it. Yeah, thank you. You talked me out of it.
Daniel will do a new one every single week himself. Driving himself crazy. Teresa's here. How you doing, Teresa?
Hi.
So, Teresa...
In the hot seat. She's very nervous. I don't want you to
I'm
be
not nervous anymore.
Okay,
I'm nervous
good.
about being lost. It's been a long time since I lived here. So.
Oh, you used to live in Baldwin?
Not Baldwin, but Orlando.
Okay.
And I came to Baldwin a lot because I was in the Army, and we had a base nearby.
All right.
I've met a lot.
Combat Barbie.
I've met a lot of people that were stationed around here. Like guests come in and be like, I used to live here.
Isn't that weird when you say I was stationed in Orlando? You're like, with Mickey Mouse?
A lot of people don't realize the naval base. And,
I barely remember when this was a naval base.
There was a naval base just outside of Taft, too.
Yeah.
People didn't go there until after they got abandoned.
So, Teresa, what is your weird job?
It's not really that weird, but I'd say my experiences in doing it was weird.
Okay.
I'm a trainer.
All right. Well,
a personal trainer. And I do group exercise, but my job when I first started listening to this segment was that I worked in a health club. So I did those things in the health club, but I did everything, all of the stuff.
All right.
That's a term I don't really hear as much anymore. You hear gym kicked around a lot, but health club.
Yeah.
Well, it was. We have gyms now.
Yeah, I always enjoyed the health club, though, because you had... There was a time...
You hung out.
Follow me with this, Teresa. There was a time when the health club, to me, almost meant you were, like, rich or something. You would go... You'd have tennis.
Yeah.
You'd have a steam room. You'd have a sauna.
Yeah.
You'd have a place to shower and change. You'd have maybe a
pool,
cafe.
swim laps.
Maybe get a smoothie or something.
Had that.
Yeah, so to be part of the health club, like it was like you're bettering yourself. Like gyms now, like you go there, I mean, playing a fitness, you're eating the pizza, you walk around, you eat the Tootsie Rolls.
You know why? Because the business part of it, they realized, well, let's make a gym and charge people and have no one ever come.
Yeah.
And like
that
that
is the business model.
That is because if you make the health club too nice, it's full all the time.
The
like
inhabitants of Planet Fitness are the fattest inhabitants.
Well, they don't even go because you make it $10 a month. The health club, you have to make $200 a month to make it even
work. You
work.
gotta have a key card. You gotta get in there. You gotta have a parking spot.
And there's all kinds of extras too. Like there's extras just like anything else.
So the business of it, the economics of it is like create a gym, charge people a little amount, and have no one ever come. And then that's the way to make money. And then you just have this building here, and then everybody's paying $10 a month, and we're all getting rich. So you were doing no one's working out.
You were doing the opposite. What would you say the majority of the people that were going to the health club, were they older folks?
No, a mix. I mean, I live in Titusville, so you have an older population towards that way.
Yeah.
But you also have the Space Center. So that whole place. And the weird thing is that I worked in a health club that closed in the pandemic, and the Space Center has a health club. They also closed, but they're open again. No one goes. No one goes to it. It's free for them. They don't go.
Teresa, let's talk about...
You don't need your muscles in space.
I guess not.
That's true.
Yeah. Things are lighter there.
Let's talk about the personal training industry, right? So...
You starting?
No.
You gonna start?
I've thought about this a lot because I have a personal trainer that I've been seeing for years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've analyzed like why am I seeing this person
for
so long, and then because the exercise. It's not
you
like
love him, dude.
I can do the exercises myself at home or at the damn $10 gym, whatever. Like it's not like he's
You won't though.
But
won't.
and then there's a certain accountability to having a standing appointment, and then also
There's a level of accountability through a weigh-in.
He was tracking progress and stuff like that, and keeping record of it, and then also like
measuring your muscles.
There's a point where you get to know a person, and there's a little bit of, because I try to get value out of everything. I unload some of my personal. I use them as like a therapist a little bit. I just sit there.
Doing don't work.
As I'm working out, I just complain about stuff or like whatever is going on that day. Is I unload some stuff.
It's a weak case. 34 charges, but it's weak.
And then you have this other human listening to it, so it's like, okay, there's some therapy you're getting out of it, some working out, some accountability, But
plus, it gives you some time away from the family, right? It gives you a little you time.
And so then
you do a lot of thinking. I get a lot of texts before and after the gym because I know you're in your own. You're in your own space.
So, but on the other side of it, I started looking at on his side, on his business side of it. I always think, well, how much does he want me, or how motivated is he to want me to better my life and like get all this down and like start doing really well? Because essentially
you're eliminating him.
That's putting him out of the job.
He wants you fatter than ever.
Yeah. So it goes back to like a dentist and other jobs like that.
Yeah.
Like the dentist is always like, you need to floss every day, twice a day, and brush your teeth twice a day, and do all the. Yeah. And then I'm like, well, do you really want me to do all these things? Because that's rendering you useless at this point.
Teresa? What's your take on something like that?
Because I've never studied so much in my life. I've been doing this a long time. What keeps people motivated to do it and why they keep doing it, it's every person's different. It's really hard to narrow down like what keeps a person doing it. I've offered so many times to go to somebody and give them all the tools. Like, I'll give them all to you. They won't do it. They will start doing it.
Why won't they do it?
I don't know.
Let's talk about that, because
it depends.
I
Like,
don't
usually
I don't want to do it.
Even if they have a gym
self-discipline.
membership, they still will not go unless they have that appointment, that thing that because something made them stop. Like someone died, or an injury, or there was multiple interruptions in a row that just makes you stop and you forget. And then when I ask people, why'd you stop doing it? They're like, I don't know. I'm like, yeah, they don't. It's just something made them interrupted the habit of doing it, so they stopped doing it.
Well, the answer is they're weak, right? Just like I'm weak and everybody's weak.
Yeah, everybody's weak.
Well,
the people that you see that continue to do it and like seem to be extra motivated and always doing it, and they either have like an anxiety and they are doing it as their medication, or
she pointed at herself. She pointed at herself.
We see you're on TV, Teresa.
She pointed at herself. She did not want to know that you didn't know that she has anxiety.
Everybody knows.
She's a liar.
I slammed the ball. That's my Xanax.
Okay.
I've sent balls to
Xanax
people's
works
homes.
way better.
Yeah.
Have you
No,
ever
I
had
don't.
it?
Yes.
You know the only
It makes me tired.
Slamming a ball does nothing.
When it makes me tired.
When I take
and
Xanax,
fat.
I feel like a slammed up ball.
Okay.
Oh my God. I feel like a little baby in a diaper.
But I'm saying, like, everybody handles their anxiety, their depression, their mental health issues differently. That's how I do it. I use intense exercise. I know people that will get on a roller coaster and scream. That's it's
I
just
use
forces
insanely
your
kinky
adrenaline.
sex. I
and
do
it
extremely
and it makes
vulgar sexual
But that's what makes me
escapades.
keep going. And honestly, what makes me keep going is that I do it for a living, which is why I picked that job. Because I know if I don't do it, I don't have to be there doing it. I won't do it, and I'll eventually fall off like everyone else.
What made you choose to get the certification and the amount of schooling? Because it is a lot to learn. What made you go in that direction? Were you a big fat slob
Whether
at
it's a
one
lot
time?
to learn depends on what you have. So some people are physiologists, that's a master's degree. Some people have a bachelor's degree. Some people have certificates. Some people's certificates are more impressive than other ones.
I have some certificates.
Mine is the hardest one that you can get, and it's the most difficult to get and the most expensive to get, and it's the gold standard. But that doesn't mean I'm not saying it's the best one. So I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that's the one my health club wanted us to get, and we got that one. It's really expensive to keep it up, and it's really, I don't know.
I just thought of something. This is how we get rich, Daniel.
This is how we get rich.
So, and Teresa, follow me here.
Okay.
So, because
are we going to start training our listeners?
Well, because a personal trainer, I feel like Teresa, like my personal trainer, and every personal trainer I've met, they're like really positive, and they also really want their clients.
Can you imagine going to a depressed personal trainer?
I mean, I'm sure.
Well, that's a whole lot.
Yeah. Do some sit-ups.
Hold on. This is where I. This is
where you come in.
Yeah. I opened up the studio right next door.
Personal trainer. I like it.
And
personal drainer.
And they
God, that sounds terrible.
And they want all their clients to better themselves, but again, how like
it depends on what drives you. Like I see people in such bad health, and my own family members, so I have their genetics. If I follow that, I will be doing that same exact thing. My sisters are, my brothers, So I have to look at like people limping through the grocery store and riding those carts and having so much trouble walking.
That's me.
That is appalling. It's
I can
it's
barely
totally,
I'm about to get Dane no matter what she's saying.
I'm riding the carts around.
Yeah.
I'm riding around. Yeah, I'm riding them
It's
around.
totally
like
preventable.
you know how hard it is for me to get just a jar of spaghetti sauce off the shelf.
5 feet
if
tall.
I do
yes,
that,
I do.
I'm like, my God, what an accomplishment.
So that can be prevented though if you know what to do. I know what to do. So
unless you go to Tom
Tom's
Van's
trainer.
personal trainer,
Personal training.
I am gonna run my business like Planet Fitness or whatever. Where I don't,
pizza and Tootsie Roll, start there.
I don't want my clients bettering their life because that is a detriment to my bottom line. I want
We're the only health club that will allow you to smoke 2 cigarettes while you're training
on the treadmill.
Only 2 because
I'll enable
you. Oh my
you.
God, it'll be like China.
Every day you prove how much you're the bad one.
Like,
every day.
When I weigh you,
don't want to work out? Don't. We don't care.
Every time I weigh you, even
more business for us.
I'll make up excuses
start
for
fat
you.
shaming.
Like,
your
no.
Like, looking a little chubby today.
No. That because then they won't show up.
If they're heavier, you just go, that's muscle. You're putting on muscle. You're putting on muscle.
I'm gonna be like, I know things have been rough. It's okay if you
have
slip
a
every once in a while.
day.
Next week we'll start.
Have a cheat week.
Because I feel like if you
yourself.
hold them accountable.
yourself.
Then they're like, oh God, now
this is hard.
When I show up to my trainer and I'm weighing more than I did last week, they're gonna know I wasn't disciplined. But Tom Van, I'll be like, it's no big deal. It's okay. I understand.
Just lie to them. Just say, you're still losing weight.
They're like, I do it too. So
Here, have a little meth. That'll help.
Well, that's the secret.
I know.
Don't tell them the secret, then they'll never come
And
back.
it gets them hooked on
Which
drugs.
side do you want, Sam?
I want to keep
Not Tom's.
We're not going to give these fat asses Adderall.
And I won't even make them work out when they come. They'll
just
come.
Go in there and sit, and then if your wife calls, I'll say you're working really hard.
And I'll only charge them like $20 a month, which would be insane.
Man, this is like my dad.
More than a BDM.
This is like my dad. Before my dad died,
I don't even have to see them. They'll just come in. Like, I'll run it out of this place. So they'll come in. I'll be like, hey, Charlie, how's it going? And they go way up and be like, that's okay.
It could
just
be
try
a
again
full
later.
scam. But before my dad passed away, he was supposed to be going and rehabbing like his leg at like this place. He would leave his cell phone in the car, then he'd go across the street to this soul kitchen and eat fried chicken the whole time and just lie. He would just straight up lie.
Probably because it hurt. That's why they don't want to do it.
Did you go there? Yeah, I went there. It was across the street, but I went there.
So it depends on, that's a very 5-year-old methodical way to train people is like give them the bad stuff so that they stay bad so they'll keep coming back, right?
Teresa.
But so then they won't talk about you to other people and recommend you if they're not getting results and that kind of thing.
Teresa?
Go ahead.
Oh well, I because as you know, it's the answer is
blowing in the wind.
Easy. There's not some secret to any of this, right? And like we all know what you have to do. If you want to, again,
you got to put in the work.
I believe do whatever the hell you want,
but
be whoever you want. Like I don't care. Like
they need you to
your
put
life.
it.
Do
they need you to
whatever
put
you
it in
want.
place for them. Like they need you to like show them, and even when you do, you have to keep showing them because they won't keep doing it. It's
It's
weird.
our brains that are the problem, and the way that we evolved as human beings, right? And so the answer's right in front of us, like even the chemistry of sugar and how like what we crave is what we craved that was, rare out in the wild while we evolved to be humans.
Right.
It was hard to find sugar. We were attracted to it. It's easy to turn into calories that
and
helped
now
us
we
survive.
got it. We're going to eat all.
And now we've got it, and our brains are the same, and we're sitting here in society, and we're like, well, all this delicious sugar, fat, carb stuff that we needed to survive 100,000 years ago is now easy and the cheapest food to buy, and how the hell are we not going to eat it? Because we're driven somewhere, addicted to it, Teresa.
That's true.
And so our brains crave it so much, and then so what we need is the discipline to not eat the sugar, and that's the hard part, and too hard.
What's the biggest?
So give me a medical or some sort of chemical or like shot. What is that? The new weight loss shot?
I guess the only way
make
to
it easy
make
for
sure
me.
is talk to
Ozempic,
them,
I think.
talk to them, and tell them all the things I know. And if they have to believe me in order to pay me, or they won't pay me.
What's the biggest success story you've had with one of your clients?
It's a success and then a really bad thing right after that.
Yeah.
No.
Sorry.
No. Well, okay. So this was when I was working in a health club. So I remember I'm on my own now. But at the time, my coworker and I made a circuit because we wanted to teach more classes, but our own bodies couldn't take anymore.
Sure.
So we made a circuit so they are doing it. We are just telling them what to do.
Yeah, I want to talk about that too, about
Okay.
like how you guys I've never thought about that as from the training perspective. I mean, you could obviously overtrain just by
I'm
teaching
overtrained right now.
Right,
So
yeah.
overtrained right now, but because it's all me, really.
Yeah.
So, but at the time, I'm in a big club. We have a lot of instructors and that kind of thing. But we still, you get to a point where the demands of the club are more than the staff that you have. So we just found that we're ourselves having to do too many things, then we're too tired, too broken down. And then if you become injured, you can't do it anymore.
Sure.
So we were trying to look for that. So we found this circuit. We put together a circuit of intervals. I'm still doing it now, like almost 18 years later.
Oh, wow.
And it's very popular, and it's really actually pretty fun and impossible to get bored. It's very intense, so it's not like for beginners, but this guy lost 100 pounds doing it. I usually don't recommend someone who's 100 pounds overweight ever doing, because we're doing jumping jacks and lunges, and when you're overweight, that's not a great idea. But he was able to modify things enough and stuck with it. And this was 3 times a week he was doing it.
Wow.
He lost 100 pounds and was so inspired by that he quit his job and got the certification that we have. And in doing that, he lost his medical insurance. Right after that, he got diagnosed with cancer of the bile duct.
Oh man.
4 months.
After
losing 100
tell us that.
100 pounds.
Just tell us the
Delete
saddest
that.
story.
Sad job Wednesday.
Yeah, sad job, yeah. I mean,
Of all the stories, Teresa, why
I-
would you choose that one? I was
Give us a funny
I
one.
was
down
going for
some
important
inspiration.
class.
I got some funny ones.
What did you ever
now it's gonna be less because
I
we're all
got some
sad.
funny ones.
You ever
Okay,
have a
ready?
fat guy fart
Why
and
don't you
fall
just-
over?
Yeah.
I got an idea.
I know
Just
it's
knock
my fault.
out.
This is my fault because I should have told Teresa when he could be like, "Hey,
If I
know
promise-
you feel compelled to tell us the saddest story right up front, but just tell us the
Listen.
guy
Yeah,
that farted."
We need a fat guy farting. He falls off one of those steps.
because the
you know?
saddest story. Let's
Yeah.
just not even say that
We
word.
were
I
doing
promise.
sit-ups and his
keep-
pants fell down.
Don't even share that with anybody.
Yeah.
Just keep that in your own head. Like you were exposed to it, and now don't I
My
give
God.
give us
I don't
that.
even know what a bile duct
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
I promise you'll feel better if you just knock out 20 push-ups.
Oh.
I promise.
I will
you
feel
will
better.
feel
Yeah.
so much
Yeah,
better.
over
But then
10 years of doing it
there's-
every day, I
there's
will, but
so
not
many,
just once.
There's so many funny ones. So many. Oh my God.
Well, too late now.
I've caught people in a hot tub before.
What?
And then, oh,
Doing
yeah.
it?
All right, hold on.
Oh my God.
I got an
yes.
idea.
At the health club.
Oh my
I got an idea.
gosh.
Okay, go ahead.
People.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's just admit that none of this is working, right? Well, then not what you do. You got your clients, and with the personal trainer industry, it's more about relationships. You build with someone, and then they help you along. So that's totally different. I'm talking about as a whole, as our whole society, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have this problem, and the problem is we produce foods that are bad for you too cheap.
Yeah.
And
Processed food.
And most of the people can't afford healthy foods. Like, look what's in the inner city. It's nothing healthy. Like we've always food deserts.
Educate them.
We've
educate
talked about
them.
that for years.
You can educate anybody all you
we
want.
were doing that 20 years ago. We were working with Orlando City and talking about how downtown Orlando is a food desert. There's nothing.
And then guess
there's
what?
No nutrition there whatsoever.
And for the person that grew up in extreme poverty, they're like, well, my parents can't afford anything. It's like there's a horrible situation.
Plants grow.
Yeah.
Plants grow, man. That's free.
Well, I am in poverty. I'm fighting for my life. I can't eat healthy. That's the smallest part of what I'm. You know what I'm saying? So we got this problem. Society's created it, right? Okay, so why not, as a society, we just throw more drugs at it? Okay,
that's what we do. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but you look at it as a bad thing. I'm saying, throw the drugs at it and make the damn shot that people are the celebrities are taking. Mass produce that. We know we can mass produce.
So you're saying that problem would be less than the obesity problem. You got to pick your problem.
Health wise, and just give that to everybody.
Well, they are doing that. It's called gastric bypass surgery.
Well, that's a surgery.
It's instant,
and then you need a doctor.
Instant weight loss.
Heal, then you gotta
and you gotta have a competent surgeon.
You still didn't change what you were doing that caused that in the first place. That's what you have to do.
But there's also discipline involved, and that's too hard for us.
Oh,
it's too hard to me. Yesterday, I had a long day, and at the end of the day, I was like, I should work out today because today's Tuesday, and that's my workout day.
Why'd you wait to the end?
Well, I had I couldn't do it. I literally couldn't.
Going on all day.
But and it would involve me doing it at night, but I could have knocked out a half an hour workout. But instead, I was like, I want White Claw because
you do.
And then I sat there and I was like,
wind down.
And then I was like, this makes me feel better than working out.
And it's releasing the same chemicals, right? Like you're getting that spike of adrenaline.
Yeah.
You'd get that same spike doing push-ups, and that's just going to make you sore.
And drink. But better than push-ups, way better. And then
Tastes better than push-ups.
And then I woke up feeling kind of crappy today, and I was like, why'd I do that?
It's because I got to do it again.
Then I was like,
well, you look at the overall effect, too. Like, if you did that every night, you'd look like a busted can of biscuits.
Busted can of biscuits.
So,
oh my God, I feel like a busted can of biscuits.
So then I often, I'll tell my wife or other people, they're like, I know what to do. I want to do this. I just, and then I'm just like, throw drugs at it. Just take it, just a drug.
Well, that's an attention span thing,
whatever.
too.
Because if you're going to not, either you do it or drugs at it. To me, it's like, because then if you do nothing, I think that's worse for you than the drugs. Because Crystal would be like, I don't want to take the drugs because I know what to do.
I wouldn't use her as an example.
No. But I'm saying everybody wants to lose 20 pounds, right? It's like, I do. Well, not everybody, but most people I know.
Most people say they're overweight.
Especially in my age. Like, all my friends are complaining. They're like, oh, God, I got to lose weight. Like, the Wizard, Fernando, everybody's like, I got this big beer belly. I got to lose weight.
Well, you got to stop drinking.
Wouldn't it be cool if you could go, hey, let me go ahead and tell you exactly how to do that right now? Exactly. Like by science,
but it's
step by step.
Easy, Teresa.
Teresa, it's too hard.
It
You
can't
understand?
be hard.
It's
got to be.
simple.
You
Work
can tell
out.
me how to do
It's
it.
not simple.
It's not
simple,
no.
but it's difficult because of behavior, because of your own, because of behavior.
Too hard.
You don't want to do it.
I want to do it. It's just too hard.
You don't want to do it every day.
You know how much I want to do it?
Yeah.
Oh, God, I want to do it.
You have to find the thing that drives you to do it, I guess. Sometimes it's doing it with someone else.
Fear.
Sometimes it's hiring someone.
Fear of dying.
Sometimes but it is that.
Right.
Like, I look at my mom is in very bad health.
I'm sorry.
Following her genetics. I will be just like that if I do what she does. No way am I letting that happen to
What if
me.
you're going to be just like it no matter what? I think that's kind of what
people still do descend into
arguing.
really bad health, even though they know that's going to happen because they don't know any better. But they do, but they just don't. They can't apply it, I guess.
Well, the reason why they can't apply it is not because they don't know. That's what I'm saying. It's too hard.
You're not driven to it by something that what are
It
you
also-
driven to?
Can I get a drug that makes me more
plants.
driven?
Boats, plants, White Claw. What drives you?
Oh,
Something.
you hit the
Something.
three.
Money.
You hit the
Yeah,
three.
money. Gambling
drives him.
Yeah.
Money.
Gambling. So, but I mean,
I
you're
think it's-
constantly motivated to do that.
He's only fueled by money, power, respect.
Stuff. You're compelled to play the football pool. You're compelled to do the other things. Doing those things, money probably, right? For me, it's health, and also I worked in a health club for a long time. And if you put on 2 pounds, they're like, "Wow, put on a couple." Like they are not nice.
That's the way we are around here.
They are
We
not.
talk
They
about
are.
it.
They will tell you right away. Oh, when I was pregnant, getting really big. Am I? Hadn't noticed. Thanks for the reminder.
God, even if you're pregnant,
Even
that's
if,
crazy.
yes, sir, and women,
Teresa, so
women too.
listen, but what I'm saying is everybody knows what they have to do. We're
Yeah.
not doing it. It's too hard to do. So what?
we gotta
how
make
do
it easier.
How do we fix that? That's what I'm saying.
I don't know if there's a way to make it easier, but there's a way to make it look more attractive.
But I'm also saying society sets us up to fail because healthy foods are more expensive.
Correct, yes.
So it's cheaper
they're
to be
also-
to eat less healthy.
They also don't taste as good.
My
Everybody
next
says,
door neighbor,
Yeah,
my
like,
next door
eat
neighbor has a
this.
ruby red grapefruit tree, and he said that I can have them whenever I want.
Yeah.
Because he's not allowed to eat them because the medication he takes.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
So
yeah.
don't eat this natural thing. Take this pill for your cholesterol. What? That is
Yeah,
so
but I
wrong.
mean, like,
Take the
So,
pill.
no, don't
That's
take
our
the pill.
Teresa.
It's not natural.
No, it's natural. I'm saying people are dying.
But
here,
they're also-
Teresa.
what
we
I-
can't do it.
Yeah.
We're all fat.
Yeah.
We need the pill.
Yeah,
Just
he-
give it.
that dude
Give
needs
every.
I'm sorry, but that guy needs the pills, not the grapefruit. He
Give
gotta
it-
have because the grapefruit, he's gonna need the grapefruit, then
Yeah.
the grapes, and
A
he gotta lose
grapefruit
60
a day.
pounds.
You don't
But I
understand,
mean,
Teresa.
I could tell him how to do it.
And you don't want everybody to somehow change their life. You'd be out of business.
That's
Like,
not
this-
true.
Yeah,
There's always more people.
Well, I'm
But
just
you
saying,
don't think that this guy is like, you don't think that it's a little more complicated? Like, you think he can swap the grapefruit for
No,
the
I
pill?
ask anybody that question.
Like, I don't think he can because it's probably
It's
like.
the same with like kale and things like that. Some
Yeah.
people are not allowed to eat those
Yeah,
things
my
because
mom
they're
had-
medications.
Yeah, certain things she couldn't take because of vitamin K
Yes,
or
yes,
vitamin D or
Yep.
we,
So I'm just saying, can't we all in America and our
Get along.
politicians or
Get
whatever
along.
just look at this problem and be like, man, let's just throw. And I know
You are barking up the wrong tree,
Add-
sweet pea.
adding-
Because I'm super against shortcuts of any kind.
Shortcuts
Super
are-
against them.
shortcuts. That's my handle on CB Radio. They call me shortcuts.
if we can get to where we need to get to in
Yeah.
a shorter
A win's
amount of
a win.
time.
I'm saying a win's a win. W
yeah.
is a W.
Yeah, it's like, what are we talking about here? Like, but then we got an entire society on all these drugs and the pharmaceutical
We got to get
companies.
them on the grapefruit.
Well, then think it out. Look at it and say, well, I don't want all the pharmaceutical companies to make all the money, so let's subsidize in some way. I don't know. They're smarter people than I am. So
guess.
why can't you just throw drugs at society
Well,
to
you can.
make them
They
all
are
lose
doing
weight?
that.
Well,
They
she's
are
done.
doing that.
Well, they're not doing it good enough. Right? It's expensive.
Not everybody can afford it.
Only
right?
the rich can
Or
get
have
the
insurance.
the Angelina Jolie
Yeah,
Ozempic shot because it's too expensive and you have to be on it all your life. I'm saying hand it out like candy for free everywhere. And
Have
then
you ever seen Wall-E?
they're all fat and
No,
in
the
wheelchairs.
dystopian future part of Wall-E where they're on that ship and they don't have to get up and they just get fatter and fatter and
Yeah.
fatter.
Yeah.
That's why we don't do it.
Yeah,
Well,
we're
no,
there.
well,
We're
they're
there
not-
right now.
They're not on
Yeah.
Ozempic.
Not right.
If they can build a spaceship, they can
don't-
give
I
all
don't
these
believe in that
fatzos
stuff.
Ozempic.
The way I do it is I don't believe in that stuff. When people tell me that they are thinking about doing a shortcut or they already have, I tell them, you can do that if you want to, but I can't give you any more advice if you do, because now you're changing yourself. Like if you have surgery or if you go on this extreme diet and you lose, now you have changed your metabolism and the normal things I would do for you don't apply anymore because now you can only eat 4 ounces of food. Why is it a good idea to shrink your stomach to the size of a 4-year-old? Maybe in a life-saving way. But
You
other
don't
than
have
that,
the discipline.
It didn't.
Yeah,
It didn't.
How can you not understand?
It
You got to
did
pick your
not-
battles.
Yeah, you're just like, I can.
It
Listen,
didn't cause you to change your behavior,
No,
and because of that,
it's impossible, Teresa. People can't change their behavior.
They can.
I've seen in my life tons.
It's hard though. It is hard.
It's
Too hard. I'm just
extremely
telling.
hard.
It's too, and they're not going to do it. I've seen people that are horrible at life, Teresa.
Me too.
In my own life and stuff, and then I'm like,
Including myself.
stop making these decisions. what are you doing, right? And they can't stop. Like I've seen it. They
Yeah.
just can't stop. So then I'm like, if
you say that, but you have changed your
Yeah,
own
yeah,
patterns.
you have.
Yep.
People
You used to
can.
eat a foot-long sub
Yeah,
for breakfast.
you have
and
to,
not work
yeah,
out,
yeah.
and you used to not work as
You
hard at
evolve
your other
through
job. And
Don't
things
know.
in your life, like the
I
Peloton.
I
and
understand
other
what he's
things.
saying. He's just saying.
it's
though,
not about me.
Yeah.
I'm a different person. Everybody's different. I'm
Okay.
just saying for the
well,
majority.
that's what we're saying is everybody is different.
Everybody
some
is
people
different.
can change.
Yeah, some can, but some
I I don't want to
People
change
get
it.
sober.
I've changed
People,
enough.
you know, like people
never
change.
do drugs again.
You gotta,
I mean,
it's hard
that's
work.
one of the hardest ones. And smoking too. You know, you've been a smoker, and you know you've been a smoker.
I think I'm
I've
gonna
been a
go
smoker.
back. I'm gonna go back to smoking.
I am.
But
full on Newport.
and I know it's giving up.
Yeah, I'll ease into the menthols again.
like
yes,
Marlboro Light menthols.
I know there are people that can change, and there's
Yeah.
people that can do it. I'm just saying that seems to be the anomaly, and it's
is,
harder,
right.
and the majority of the people can't do it.
I'll take all of them.
So, well, no. I'm just saying they cannot. No matter you telling them that, they're going to be.
They're just not going to
I
do
like.
it.
I'm gonna stop doing this segment because you just crap on people's jobs. Our whole point here is to motivate people to get healthier.
Yeah, but he's saying that how are you
That
able to do
is
that?
what
'Cause
drives
it's-
me.
it's
I mean, money
impossible.
does. Money does.
Some small, yeah, there are people that can get better, but I'm just saying the majority
So-
can.
We got to
Give
talk
them
about the stereotypes of the majority here, and
So-
most people are big fat slobs.
Give them the shot.
So I started that way. I've been over 200 pounds before.
What?
Oh,
You're too
yes.
tiny.
Well, now I am
Yeah.
because I know what I'm doing now. But
But
for a really long time, I was doing the exact same thing you were doing, guessing at it, trying it for a few days, not seeing a result, and then being like, well, I just quit. Then I'll just stay fat and keep smoking.
But what if the reality is not everybody can do it? You know, because that could be a reality. Like there could
Almost anyone can.
In admitting that, though, people don't like that. People don't like
I
to
know
look
they don't
at,
like
at
it.
something like that and be like,
I know.
oh,
I
you
know.
mean the majority of us are going to stay this way and die this way? And when you
Listen,
tell people that, you
when I started-
you take some of their hope and you flush it down the
Yeah,
toilet,
yeah,
and they hate that.
When I started on my own, I bought a lot of used equipment because it was pandemic and gyms were closed and you couldn't go to any places. So
Yeah.
people were hoarding equipment that you could have at home and gouging. I mean, $60 for one dumbbell.
I remember your trainer
One
was saying
guy,
that. Michael was saying
one
that.
guy sold me a cable machine and told me that he had it for a week.
It's called a
and
cable
had
box.
A cable machine.
It's called a cable box. It's a, it has your shows on it.
He sold it to me because 1 week after he got it and hired a trainer to come to his home and help him do it, he crashed his motorcycle and broke his back and lost a foot and could never use it again. So he cannot do it.
That's a
He
reason
can't
to
do
sell
it.
That's a reason to sell it.
He can't do it.
The second one.
No cables for you.
You bought a one-footed man's exercise
my
equipment.
He
God.
sold it to me for really cheap.
Well, you couldn't use
He
it.
did have a leg to stand on.
Preying on the victims. Yeah, that's me.
I'll give it to you half off.
I know that, and I'm only saying that as a general bigger conversation of can we admit that everybody just can't do it? Some people can't
Why
do
do
it.
you think you have me here? Why do you think I have the job I have? I have to convince them that not only do you need to do it, but you need to pay me to teach you how to do it.
Yeah, but
It's
what if
really
they just
hard.
can't? What if
Well,
what if you because there are
Do you
people
think I've never fired anyone before?
Oh, you fired a client before?
Yes,
Oh, my
yes.
God. That's
A
got to be
couple
so hard. You could
non-compliant
never do
people.
that. So you could never be in her role because, first of all, you wouldn't take these people on. Second of all, once you did, if you had to break up with them and tell them, hey, you're not putting in the effort.
This isn't working
and
out.
this isn't
Yeah,
working, I
that's
can't
very
see
hard to
you.
do.
But they're paying you, so just let them pay you, and then you
but-
tell them, keep telling
Yeah,
them,
but
you're like,
that's
hey, you're
just-
not doing what I'm
that's just
telling you.
They're
That's just
paying me.
crooked.
They're
Yeah.
paying me to go home and eat a bag of donuts after they're done with me, and then tell everybody it didn't work.
Right. I see what you're saying.
You're ruining my career.
yeah.
No, you're not.
I haven't
Yeah,
seen.
but you're making me rich.
yeah, Mr.
They'd
Fitness.
leave on vacation and come back 40 pounds heavier. I'm like, what? No. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
say,
That's
it just didn't work. I hired her and it didn't. You're not doing that to me.
Gotcha.
Well,
No
it never
way.
works again, Teresa, because some people just can't do it. Give them the shot. That's all I'm saying. Give them the drugs, the shot,
Well,
and whatever it takes.
I think in
give them the surgery.
life-saving situations, or if someone is so broken down and injured that they can't use exercise as a tool for weight loss, but that still doesn't mean they can't lose weight. They just can't use exercise as a tool, and it is a tool. That's all it is.
All right. So,
All right. We're not
You
that
got
dusty
me.
here.
Not the answer I wanted.
no.
You're still doing it, right? Why are you still doing it? Does
Who,
he
me?
make you? Does he shame you? Is a he or a she?
It's a he.
I was like,
If
does
it was
he
a she,
shame you? Are you
I'd
friends?
never
Do
be
you
able to
think-
see him
do
for
you
that long.
think it would-
Because my
Are you-
wife would be
are you
like, "You
friends?
love
You're
her,
cheating
don't
on me."
you? Love her. What are you
Would
doing
it-
in there?"
What if
it
she
be
was
better-
fugly?
I was going to say, would it be better for you to have a female trainer from your own motivational standpoint.
Oh, I'd work. Yeah.
Would you
I work harder to impress
with
her.
really big muscles.
Right.
yeah,
Would
yeah.
you?
Yeah. I work harder to impress her. I tell her lies.
okay.
But I tell her my own
Oh, I
lies.
did 50 of these last night. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And then so there always will be a personal trainer industry because again, it's more about.
But you have different types, like so many virtual during the pandemic.
Right.
Not interested.
But
Never want to do it.
It's like comedy.
Never.
Yeah, I think there's a disconnect there.
Don't want to do it.
Yeah, I can understand.
So many do, and some people like jumped over and will never come back. That's cool. More for me. Thank you. I'll be there in person. I'm never online.
I'm just saying, if there was a very cheap, affordable drug out there that could solve this problem and help society,
I feel like on the back end there would be one really bad thing, like you grow another nose.
It
or
does feel
something.
like that
because it's wrong. It's wrong. You didn't work
like there's
for
tons
it.
of them out there now that don't even work, like Golo and all
Yes.
these other ones.
No, I'm saying a
And
good
you
one
see
that
'em
works
all over the place. So I think she's right though.
Or
There's
they work,
always,
but you have extreme diarrhea forever.
I'd be okay with that.
better than diabetes,
Yeah.
heart attack. You know what I'm saying? Like all this.
Agreed.
All these other ancillary. I'm just looking at statistics. All
Yeah.
these other ancillary problems like heart disease and diabetes.
You're trying to check off the biggest one.
That millions of people. So, like, say you give everybody this drug, and then there's going to be side effects, and a percentage of them die from it or whatever.
Yeah.
But is it better than the diabetes and the heart disease?
There's only one thing that can happen with that. It can get super expensive, so no one can afford it. I'm trying to figure out why no one's done this with toilet paper yet, or tampons. Like everyone needs it, no matter how expensive you make it.
The government.
Oh, they do it with printer ink. We know that.
Yes,
They
printer
definitely
ink.
do it with
Yes.
printer ink.
Oh my God, yes.
Just put it in the water like fluoride.
right.
I'm just saying.
I'm saying then there's no money to
I'll
be
drink
made.
it.
Because you're solving problems later. I see what
All
you're
right,
saying.
let Teresa plug her
There's no money to be
personal
made.
training.
Yeah, plug your training, Teresa.
Plug it. Okay. Well, can I tell you a story? Really short.
Sure.
Is
Oh
it
my
su-
God, she's got a gun.
No.
It's a super sad police beat.
No, it's not sad at all. The beginning of it is sad.
Oh my
I lost 2 jobs during the pandemic. I worked in 2 health clubs, and I could not find another job, so I had to open a place.
Nice.
It's a really small place. I don't think anyone from Orlando is driving all the way to Titusville
We
to
got
work
Titusville
out in my
listeners.
little
You never
gym.
know.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah, we got a
that's
lot of
true.
people
I
around
see
there that
BDM stickers around. Yeah, I think that's right. You do. But it's Motivation Station. I just moved. I did a 2-week move over the weekend, which wasn't a good idea. I didn't want to be closed. I didn't want to be closed, and I had a full gym of equipment and machines, and I did have a couple firemen in uniform.
Hey there.
Come and help. My husband's a fireman on the Cape.
Oh, really?
So he got some of his friends that were coming off shift to come and help us do the heavy moving, because there's big machines are heavy, man.
Oh, I'm sure.
Commercial machines. I don't know if you have equipment
Come
at your
help
house.
my
but
wife move her heavy ass up.
She'll yell at you the whole
Oh my
time.
God.
She's not particular at all.
So it's just exhausting move because everything's heavy. Like one 45-pound plate, put it down. Another one, put it down.
It takes
Like
forever.
I bent over like 20 million times.
So are you all moved
my
in?
back was killing me.
Are you all moved in now?
I moved in, but I still have so many unfinished things that I feel nervous about. They don't know. They come in, they're like, "Oh, this is great." But it's driving me nuts because like this trim isn't done or something else.
Oh, it's like us. Our baseboards, our fish tank flooded, poop everywhere, and
so all that, yeah. But I have classes and I do personal training, and I'm about to have another place that was in town that was doing yoga only. They're going to join me and help me to build
more clientele.
All right.
Awesome.
They have a whole yoga curriculum. It's the Yoga Loft, so they're coming in.
Well, very cool.
May
Well,
1.
Congratulations, and thanks for giving us some time today to talk about personal training.
Hey, my pleasure.
And have us tell you that we don't see a future in it.
No. It'll be a future fight.
More Mountain Dew.
And we need a shot, and
You just can't do it.
Put something in the Mountain Dew and then just keep drinking.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Well, now
whatever
she's
works.
attacking me. I wasn't attacking you. Now you're attacking my Mountain Dew.
Just drink whatever chemicals they give you. It's fine.
The more fluorescent and green, the better.
I know it's got to be. I'm sorry. Now I feel bad because I think
Don't
she's
feel
mad
bad. That was my former favorite drink.
Yeah, I love it.
Because when I lived here, I just do the Blanchard Trail all the time. Rollerblades, Discman. Oh, yeah. 30 miles an hour. Here's my Mountain Dew, my Diet Mountain Dew in my hand.
I'm gonna
loved
have
it.
to stop it. She shamed me. She shamed
No
me
way.
good.
I loved it.
All
I
right.
just don't drink it anymore.
We will be right back.
All right. Awesome. Thank you, ma'am. appreciate that. Where's this one go, Sam?
Wednesday 1 and 2.
Wednesday 1 and 2. Thank you for doing that, Teresa.
Hey.
We have a 3.
Do I have to leave now?
We got one more segment if you want to sit around, but we're just going to.
I have so many things to say about what you were talking about before we started talking. One was the deviated septum. Another one was, oh crap, people's behavior. My husband had that. He was a big, heavy.
Oh, gotcha.
And I said, hey, you know I love you. I don't care how you look, but I do like sleep, and you snore. So you can either go and sleep with the dog, and the two of you can snore it up, or you can do something about that. So he goes, okay, I'll go get the surgery. I had weight loss in mind, but sure, we'll do it your way. So he did it. 2 black eyes, broken nose, sleep sitting up for a week, still snoring. So they said, oh, you want to stop snoring? You need your tonsils out for that. I said, no, you don't. You need to lose 50 pounds. That's what you need. And then I taught him how to eat and how to move. And he said, I have never seen my abdominal muscles in my life. And I said, well, now you have, because I taught you what to do. Ask me if he's kept that up. So I showed him how to do it, exactly how to do it, to the tune that he was lecturing with me about it to my health club. Showing himself and saying exactly how he did it step by step. Think he's still doing it? No, hell no. You have to. It's
too hard. You're making my point.
Here's the shot.
Two registered dietitians called me and said, I need your help to lose weight. People call them to lose weight. It tells you that it's not about nutrition. It's about behavior. It's behavior. You could condition yourself to get up and exercise before you go to work, but you've told yourself you don't want to do that. If you did, it would be,
the discipline of that, though, that's what no one can do.
I think they can for a while, but I do believe that everyone will fall off the wagon, for sure.
We're still on YouTube and Twitch, just so you know.
Don't pick the nose.
What's the next thing we have to record?
Wednesday 4, which will be 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Normally we don't have people hang out, but you're more than welcome to.
I just cannot believe I'm here. You don't know how long I've been listening to you and how many stages of your life I've heard.
We appreciate that.
I haven't seen very many photos at all, so just to see your face with your voice is so crazy to me.
Yeah,
and it is too.
I mean, we have a lot of photos, but
yes,
if you're not out there,
I'm not
seeing
online and I don't watch YouTube or anything. I've just always listened to you on the radio. When I first moved to Florida, my husband listened to
How long have you guys
radio.
been in Florida?
I've been here since '97.
Oh,
my husband was born here and grew up here. I met him right after September 11th. I joined the Army. He was just getting out of the Marine Corps.
So both of you guys service members?
He was.
Nice.
Yeah, we both were.
Awesome.
And I moved here with him when I finished my duty.
There you go.
I moved to Titusville.
Nice place to be.
It is. I mean, when I first got there after being here, I was like, this place sucks. There's no shopping. There's no... But you know what?
It's pretty rural.
Now when I wait in a 20-minute left-hand turn lane, I'm good. When I come to Orlando. There's too much traffic.
We got one more segment, 15.
When does this go on the air? How should I... I know at least one person will want to hear it.
This will be tonight. I believe your 7 o'clock hour, 7
Oh,
8.
okay. Funny.
And then, we're just going to do... You want to do voicemails?
Can I take a picture or two of you?
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to do it? We're just in the last segment. We're just going to do voicemails.
Okay.
Yeah, you can hang out or
this.
You want to take a picture together?
Yes.
All right,
let's do it.
This camera is so.
Where do you want to do it?
I don't know. Let's do it with that.
Want to do it in there or do this in the background?
Well, what's in there?
Normally we do it out there because there's a step and repeat, but.
All right, look at that. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Now they can believe that I told the truth. So who is this?
That's Crystal, Tom's wife, and Bart Merrick.
Okay, and Santa. All right.
It just it was an ongoing joke. He's one of our sponsors, and they do these Christmas cards every year. They get these pillows as a promotional item, and
Why not just always have them?
So he sends it to us.
15 minutes. And
I
then...
thought for sure you were going to ask me all questions about, like, try to really bait me to talk about clients in a bad way. Or
No. We don't want you to look bad.
No, I just mean, like, try to get dirt on
No.
Like, tell us about the hot tub people or the, you know, other things that, oh, gosh.
No, I do.
I've saved someone's life before. I've had guy died in my arms.
Oh my
God.
God.
No shit.
You should have led with that's another bad thing.
Really
A man died in my arms.
The
My
crazy
God.
thing was I talked to him 15 minutes before that, and then he went in the steam room, and
I'm going to go die now.
If I had only known. My coworker pulls him out, and she's a tinier girl than me, so she's like dragging this
Help,
guy.
this big fat
And
slob's
it was
dying.
just like a test because he was wet, he was hairy, and like when you do the AED and you perform CPR, there's like stipulations in there. If they're wet, you can't be, you know. So I had to shave him and sitting here working on this guy for 15 minutes.
You gonna shave him before you start CPR?
No, before the AED because it sticks and it burns if you have chest hair. So he didn't make it.
Well, yeah. That burned chest hair, I mean, you could argue you should have just burned it up. It's just like, time's a ticking, right?
Like, hey.
Oh,
It wasn't like 40-year-old virgin. I didn't go.
yeah.
That would be. Terrible.
All right.
11:30. You know, I have a 12:30. So I have to go.
You might as well take off.
Well, it was very nice to meet you.
Same here.
Pleasure.
I'm gonna
Or do you
listen
have all
to
your
it.
stuff?
I'm going to be very nervous listening to it. Hoping
Oh,
I
you
can-
did a good job. You're
maybe,
fine.
When does it show on YouTube? Same time?
It'll be up
It'll be
now.
up this-
It's
yeah.
up right now. I mean, you could actually go there and
look
watch
and see
it.
if I pick my nose.
Yeah.
You didn't pick your nose. Very nice meeting you. And thanks again for coming in and giving us the time.
It was fun. I liked it. Do I go on the same way?
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
just go out that
You're good to
straight
go. Cheers.
Thanks.
I can start.
Okay.
Here we go. In 3, 2. Welcome back to a corporate time.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm going to start doing more zany. I'm going to start getting crazier. I need to do it. I'm a little too straight lately.
Yeah, go crazy.
And I need to...
Don't say go crazy.
Super
Don't
crazy.
say anything
I'm
goes.
gonna, like, take my pants off.
Yeah.
Kinda crazy.
Yeah. Whatever.
Tracy Morgan level crazy.
Yeah, but it worked for him.
It does work. Well, he's famous, though. I'm not really that famous.
Yeah. But he got famous
By doing that, you think?
By doing that. But I guess I think that's only because Tina Fey, and that
kind of pulled him along, I feel like.
if he never landed 30 Rock, what would he be, right?
Yeah.
Probably just a touring comedian.
Probably.
He did have his own sitcom for one season. It didn't do very well, though.
Yeah.
But I think it was just he's getting the bag. Just going for the bag.
In a super well-written show like 30 Rock with Tina Fey involved,
team of writers.
Well, she knows how to use Tracy Morgan, which is just basically let him do what he does and then call him Tracy Jordan.
Yeah.
was
change his last name to Jordan and let him be him.
Yeah, and that's what propelled him into superstardom, right?
I agree. Yeah, that's what I think. Let's do some voicemail messages. I got a couple fired up. A lot of people, the hot topic of the week has been you and your golf geyser. So a couple of those.
Okay.
We got a couple of those to get to.
Which you'll know if
Hey
you listen
guys,
to the BDM show, by
BDM
the way.
here. I was listening to the 20-foot geyser episode, and I have no experience on golf courses, much less with golf course irrigation. But I've done a lot of home irrigation, and home irrigations are set up in zones, right? And you'll have multiple sprinkler heads on each zone, and the zone is controlled by a solenoid, and no water gets past the solenoid unless it's turned on, and thereby activating the sprinkler heads, which pop up due to water pressure. So if that wasn't I don't understand how that was pressurized if the sprinklers weren't moving. It doesn't make any sense. It is possible that you didn't break it. That
he didn't break it. I'm telling you, I'll defend you
It was
till my
underneath
death on
my
this.
golf cart when
You didn't. Nothing that you did here was wrong.
Because I see what he's saying. If it's not pressurized,
It's not going to pop up.
then it's not going to pop up.
Correct.
Like, what was about it? But I'm telling you what happened.
Wait, did you
So-
just say you about it?
no,
Hold on a second. Rewind the tape, Sam.
My
This
God.
mother effer just goes,
no.
hey, I'm about it.
Listen,
no.
Is this a holler if you hear me scenario?
No,
You got the hookup?
I have to slow down.
Are you
because
Master
I've
T?
been-
Master T. Are you Master T?
So I understand what he's saying.
Tom
Like,
just said he's about it.
how could it be a sprinkler head? And because if it was under pressure,
It wasn't. You did not break this. I will defend you until the day either of us die. You did
there
not
was no
break.
geyser before he ran it over.
But he didn't do this.
Who did it?
It had to have been me.
No, it wasn't you. I'm telling you, that
Just
was it was
random-
already broken or something. But that is not a thing on a golf course.
But how? Like, okay, I went and pulled on. Like, you asked the BDM that was sitting in my cart, and asked Tommy
It was
and Juan.
possible that it was already because you said when you got there it was like a bubbling brook, like a.
No, it wasn't. No.
You said it started when you heard it. You said it wasn't always a geyser.
Yeah, but it started underneath my golf cart.
Yes.
So unless just by pure chance I pulled up over it and then just so happened to have some malfunction while my golf cart was over
That's
the top
what
of
I
it,
think.
that seems unlikely based on my history.
More or less likely than anything else that happens to you.
Okay, well, what's more likely? That it just randomly started bubbling while my golf cart was over it, or I wasn't paying attention and I ran something over
No.
and
You
I
didn't
caused
do that.
this.
No, because I saw the
I mean, there's a
placement
95%
of the
chance.
geyser. The geyser is too close. Like, no. The area that you were in, they would have known that they already had a sprinkler problem there. This is what I've been arguing the entire time. Everybody's arguing that you should have stayed on the cart path. I'm not saying they're wrong, but when you get tight around an area, like when you're going to tee off,
Yeah.
it's possible to have an upwards of 4, 8, maybe even 12 different carts there because you're going to let some quicker teams drive through. That going around, going a little bit to the side, a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right, that is a thing. I will die arguing this, and I have played golf so many times.
The cart girl has to get
Yeah.
around the cart, so they have to drive around the grass.
So maybe I'm doing a piss poor job arguing this, but you didn't. I don't think you did any of this. This was already it was already broken and bubbling. That's what I think. When you drove over it, maybe you repositioned the cap or something like that to make it shoot. But it was already broken. You didn't do it. You driving over it didn't snap anything. It didn't break anything. You didn't do anything wrong in this. You're letting our audience villainize you.
No, it wasn't.
You're letting them wear you out, and I'm not going to let them do it anymore.
Now, everybody that was there that day would testify in court that I did this.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Like they all saw it. Where they're like,
But
you ran
I'm
over.
telling you, that's not it's not a thing that happens on golf courses.
What'd the maintenance guy say?
We never. I didn't stick around. We
Right.
all got out of there. Right?
The maintenance guy was like, I can't believe my daughter's marrying a woman.
By the way, nobody seen like I since talked to the Ocoee Fire Department and like apologized to them about it. No one seems to care.
Well, it's not their course. Why would they care?
Could've been a prank.
They paid, whatever the deal was with the damn course. So I'm sure, there's some sort of business relationship with hosting a charity golf tournament.
I
Like,
mean,
someone's making
when
money.
we do our foot golf tournaments, I mean, as soon as we're out of there, we're out of there. We never talk to them ever again.
So why would there be pressure underneath a irrigation system and the system not be on? Because obviously they turn off the irrigation when there's people playing golf.
Barry Joe in the chat says golf courses often run on a reclaim system. These are pressurized. He may have broken the main pressurized line, but that's a design failure.
Okay, so the main pressurized line, it was reclaimed water for sure because it stunk.
Oh,
and it was
you didn't tell us
brown.
that.
No,
You
he
didn't tell us
doo-dooed
that.
up the
He
entire
didn't tell us
place.
that. He didn't tell us that he
There's a
started
lot he hasn't told us, I'm sure.
poo spraying.
Well,
How many of these do you think happen that we don't get told about, Sam?
About his mishap.
No, these type of little magoos.
Oh,
these little
tons.
These little
He forgets about most of
These
them.
tiny little magical magoos that apparently happen all the time. A magoo here, a magoo there, a magoo there. If you don't know what I'm referencing, Tom is the real life Orlando Mr. Magoo. I understand that is an old reference, but go Google it. This guy with his glasses, always causing hijinks, walking up and down the
construction site.
Construction site. The two beams, they land perfectly, and then he goes walking across. Yeah, he gets through.
He gets through.
He gets through.
Magoo gets through.
Write that down. Magoo gets through. All right, I got another one. Here's another hot topic. Remember, we had a BDM call in and say his son said that, you know, the bad guy in this particular movie turned invisible. And then this BDM son said, well, then the good guy needs to turn invisible so he can see the bad guy.
Okay,
because this kid, I think he's a genius. He says if...
Sorry, that's my...
Sam's over here.
It's good. It's all
my
good.
chainsaw man?
Yeah. But this particular kid said that if you are invisible and then somebody else changes invisible, they can see you now. And that makes sense to me because you're on the invisibility plane.
Okay. Okay.
It makes sense to me. You guys all said I was crazy for agreeing with the kid, and then other people are weighing in. This guy weighed in.
Hey, what's up, guys? Ben with a Y here. Hey, I was listening to the ACT recap for the week last week, and you were talking about invisibility. And a la Hollow Man, once you become invisible and you can no longer see yourself in the mirror, you start to lose sight of your own humanity, and then you slowly become into a crazy stalker rapist because
It's true. Hollow Man is a crazy
At least
movie.
that's how they portray.
I gotta weigh on this too. Sam and I have had discussions about how
I watched
crazy
it like
Hollow Man
maybe a
is.
year or two
2
ago.
years ago. It was like
Yeah.
2 years ago you
Man.
watched it. Kevin, you
Big
came
old
in. She came
invisible
in.
ding dong.
Yeah, she comes in and she goes, Kevin Bacon's a goddamn crazy. He's
that's a crazy movie.
That is a scary ass movie.
So he does like the sitting in the shower stuff, right? With the Hollow
Hold
Man?
on here.
Or-
Continue.
Read it in Hollow Man. So you start off with innocent, hey, I'm just going to move things here and there, and then it transforms into your serial rapist. But anyway, love you guys. Bye.
Now, I forget, you've seen it recently, Sam. In Hollow Man,
I'm trying to remember
Kevin
everything about
Bacon was invisible.
That bacon was swinging.
Yeah, and I think they show his invisible dog.
Yeah.
How do they show
Well,
They
because
put water on it.
he slowly becomes invisible, right?
Yeah.
And he's a scientist that's working on becoming invisible.
And it drives him mad.
Because now he can though do who's like the Invisible Man? Was it Chevy Chase that wraps him like self in gauze and stuff? So
Oh, that was Dark Man.
Oh, Dark Man.
Remember the movie Dark Man? And it wasn't Chevy Chase. This is an action movie. Big fat Chevy Chase with his white ass hair out there.
No, not now. Other young Chevy Chase.
Oh no, that you're thinking Fletch. I think
okay.
you're taking Fletch and you're taking the Invisible Man and squishing it into Dark Man.
Because you could just dress in clothes and then wrap your face in bandages and then essentially.
I wish you'd wrap your face in bandages right now.
You
Let's
take
be
the
the
human
only
form.
podcast that we podcast with
yeah, the
bandages.
original Invisible Man came out in 1933, so I don't think it was.
Okay.
I think Chevy Chase may have done. Maybe he did the Shaggy DA or the Invisible Dog. You know, like they did a lot of those.
Dog Detective or whatever. That was great.
Yeah, look up. Maybe he was in Chevy Chase is the Invisible Man, the Shaggy DA.
Well, if you start really looking into, like, imagine if you were invisible, like, you don't see your body anymore. You don't see, like,
I think my body's disgusting.
you know,
I would love to not see myself.
you would essentially just be floating around, right?
But you could still feel yourself, right?
You can still feel everything, but you wouldn't have any, like, nobody could see you. You couldn't see any part of yourself, and that it would essentially be like you were a ghost, right?
You are correct. It's called The Memoirs of an Invisible Man, starring Chevy Chase.
Okay. Did he wrap himself in bandages?
You must have watched it as a child. This was a pivotal. This is your favorite movie. You never told us this was your favorite movie.
Yeah, you're right. Yep, he did wrap his face.
Okay,
Yeah.
well,
This
there
was
it
the
goes.
bit
It's a
CBS.
it's a John Carpenter movie.
Is it serious? Is it a serious role?
It's a comedy drama.
A drama.
1992, based on the 1987 novel.
1992. That's not that long ago.
No, it's longer ago.
But it's not that long ago. I mean, when I think Chevy Chase's heyday, I'm thinking late 70s, early 80s.
Well, 92, he was older, but it's still 21.
Was that when he was
years
doing
ago.
like
22 years ago?
Trying to think of some of the movies. I did enjoy the Fletch movies. Very good.
He's supposedly a D-head, right?
Yeah, he was just in town.
He was in a wheelchair though. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh no, Chevy Chase in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
He's old.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys. Have you seen Bruce Willis on?
I didn't like that. I didn't like that. They've been talking about it a lot, and then Demi was like releasing the news. I'm like, can't you just be quiet about that? Well, don't tell anybody. If I start freaking out, please.
Yeah, but people start conspiracy theories.
But hold
that
on,
his
you
family,
and Sam are my friends, and if I start it's happening already. I can already feel the beginning effects of it, of whatever I've got. I'm in the beginning of it now.
Yeah,
and this is the best I'm gonna be. It gets worse every day.
Yeah, I know.
And it's gonna get terrible.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
I know what's
Please
happening.
don't tell anybody anything. If people are like, Dan seems like, nope, same as he ever was. You just say, keep saying that.
I want to do that.
And then just let me fade away.
I want to
and
do
then
that.
don't have Andrea propping me up, parading me out there, putting me in my wheelchair. No, just like no photos, never to be seen again. Lock me in a room.
I want to do that.
Just
for
lock
you.
me in a room.
I want to do that for you. I promise. But if I start saying like, no, Daniel's fine, he's just, he's out of the public eye, whatever. Like, people,
You don't have to say anything. Just lock me away.
No, but people start talking and they're like, Tom locked Daniel away. And he's like that Richard Simmons.
Oh yeah, you are. You're like Richard Simmons. You kidnapped me like Richard Simmons, housekeeper.
Housekeeper. Tom's like Richard Simmons, housekeeper, and he's holding Dan up.
He's holding Dan hostage. He's stealing all of his jokes.
And then there's all this conspiracy. And then all of a sudden I see the
He
internet.
wants all the money.
All the BDMs are talking about how I locked you away and I'm stealing your money and I'm
banging Andrea too.
Yeah. And then Andrea's a part of it and Sam's a part of it and
He's cockled Dan.
And so then
He's banging Dan's wife right in front of Sam.
I get so much pressure.
Sam's in on it too.
Like they all get there, and then I have to release some footage of you up just drooling.
I'm holding a piece of hey, he's dead.
And then then they have to see. They're like, this is the reality.
Yeah, look at Dan. He looks scared.
And-
It's because Tom's holding a gun,
No.
holding him at gunpoint.
Then it's sad, and everybody's like, oh my god.
Is my hair falling out like Richard Simmons? Have you seen Richard Simmons' hair?
It's
like wires.
Same thing with Bruce
Little
Willis.
wires.
Like they released some video. Have you seen
Oh,
the
no,
video?
They don't need to release
of like
nothing.
Bruce Willis on his birthday.
Yes, they shouldn't
No.
release anything. He's sitting
It's
there. It looks
super-
like a bobblehead.
It's super sad.
They shouldn't
because-
release. That's my point, man.
Because he doesn't. You can see in his eyes like he's a
That's
different
my
person
point.
because his brain is
Johnny
deteriorating.
Carson got it right. Johnny Carson, you saw him
That was
one day,
pre-conspiracy
and
theory.
he was like, "Goodbye, everybody," and then he went inside of his mansion and he locked the gates.
There's
and
conspiracies
he never,
about him.
but he never came out again. I think one time there was a photo of him walking across his tennis court. That's all I got.
Because no one felt pressure from the internet to show because the conspiracy theories start going around.
No,
and
they just held their ground.
They pressure.
They're like,
with the
what's wrong with Johnny? Nothing. Mind your business.
But that was a long time ago. Nowadays, you have to show
No.
the person and how bad
Hold
it
your
got,
ground.
so everybody's.
Hold your ground. They give us the dirt on Dan, and you go, "There's no dirt. You'll get nothing."
They put too much pressure on you. I'm telling you, they put all the pressure.
Has anybody seen Bob Barker lately?
I can't believe Bob Barker's
That's
still
a good
alive.
One. That's
Where'd
a
he
good
go?
one. No, but
No
that's a
one's
good
seen him.
one. But that's a good one because he's keeping it low. He's keeping it
but
quiet.
But then
Why aren't there conspiracies about that? Like,
because he was the last
so
time
beloved.
Well, the last time people saw him, he was so old and like really on the brink of like not being able.
We
to...
like you old, but not gross old.
So then the Richard Simmons, they didn't believe he deteriorated to the point where he needed like caretaker. Same thing with Bruce Willis. They're like, well, we just saw him a year ago. He was fine.
He's
and
the
they're like,
diehard
well,
guy.
that's how dementia works. It breaks your brain down fast. And then now he can't even talk right. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he for his own personal integrity, we don't want to show him like that. But the people demand it because they're like, you're holding him hostage. And there's like, oh, here he is. And they're like, oh, sad.
Yeah. You weren't holding it. You should have held him hostage.
Yeah.
Then they want you to.
All right, bye-bye.
Okay.
Ended on dementia. Oh man, sad episode this week.
That's fine. You gotta throw in a sad one.
Oh my God. All right. Are we going to lunch? And we come back with ducks?
Well, she's not till 2, but
Yeah,
what you want to do?
let's just
What you
let's go to
wanna
lunch early because we don't. We'll come back at 1 and record for some Thursday and maybe some Friday.
One we need to stack one.
And but we don't need to do anything really.
Hey.
So.
Have a good lunch, guys.